Yes, sir. It is I, your boy from Bed-Stuy, and I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in for Don't F Up the Crime Scene, where me, special guests, will tune in and talk about our experiences on crime scenes and how to mess up the case. All right? So sit back and enjoy and holler back at your boy. Holla. What it up? What it do? How y'all doing? This is your boy. This is Katie Hurst, and we're going to talk today at episode number 18 of Don't F Up the Crime Scene. Got a special guest all the way from NY. Came out to see me in Livonia. He represents, and we're going to talk about him real quick. Let's talk. Adrian Ashby. Adrian Ashby, he hails from New York, and he is the commanding officer over the Animal Cruelty Investigation Squad. I knew his predecessor before, and my man's come in and do a bang up job. He's just got everybody going. He runs the whole show and the whole nine. He currently holds a rank of lieutenant commander. He has a BA with business management and finance. He's a little smart. He got some skills, and he's worked multiple units within NYPD, anti-crime detective, Bureau of Force Investigations, currently positioned, and I just told you about, and we're about to get it in. He has 24 years of law enforcement, 4 years of dealing with animal cruelty cases. So, with further ado, let's talk. Adrian, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
my man. It was a pleasant surprise to see a brother of color in charge of animal cruelty and stuff like that, because we don't see too many brothers get the opportunity to represent in this field, at a commander and leading authority. So, I really, respect you on that note. And when we got to meet way back, where we meet? What was that? Florida?
Florida, yes, Florida.
Okay. Yeah, it was a good time. So, tell me, I read the intro and the whole nine thing. Tell me what makes you different, and why were you selected to be in head of this task force?
Well, I was selected. I was really in the right place at the right time. At that point, I was working in force investigation. I was dealing with police-involved shootings, death in custodies, police suicides, and I actually got a call from Mike Murphy, the old commanding officer,
right,
we referenced earlier, and he said, I'm retiring. Would you be interested? So he gave me a little background on what it was, and I sounded interesting, and I decided, let me try something different, and I did it. I went over, did the interview, and got selected. I think what really made it a little easier for me to transition, even get the position, is that I was actually born in Barbados. My father had a small pig farm. Actually, I had a horse as a kid.
Okay.
So I not only have I dealing with dogs and cats. I actually dealt with farm animals growing up. I had a horse. I worked the farm with my father, raising pigs. So it was interesting when I started going to the classes. I'm laughing to myself. I was like, "Oh, I know about that. I know about that."
That's just coming back.
I did that as a kid with my father. I know what that looks like.
That's what's up.
So it kind of helped me transition into this position, and it's worked out for me.
Like I said, I was surprised, and I was very proud for you to step into Mike's shoes, because I know his team. Mm-hmm. You inherit, Nikki and Dennis and all the boys and everything like that, and those my peeps, and you didn't miss a note. If anything, it's gotten better. You know what I'm saying? I know you be crushing cases, what have you. You work with Luigi here and there, stuff like that from DEA. You got all types of fines, stuff like that. And I've been seeing you around, doing your thing, stuff like that. And I hope to come up there so we can, cross train a little bit and get our stuff going up there. So what I always like to do, I have a top 8 questions. 4 is about you, 4 is about work. So let's go through those top 8. So with that being said, what's the best thing you like about your job?
Best thing I like about my job is actually the training aspect. Right now, I currently train I give training to the recruits coming out the academy on animal cruelty.
Cool.
I do in-service training.
Okay.
And what I like about it is, especially when I come to like classes you give, like this one, dangerous dog training.
Right.
I learn stuff. I talk to people from across the country, across the nation, see how they do things, the issues they come across. And I pick that up, and I can now take that back and give that to these young officers going out, so they don't make the mistakes that I'm listening to other people talk about, and how we can avoid those mistakes. I can then give that to them, give the knowledge to them of what they should and should not be doing, so they can make it home safe.
You know, I like that. And, you know, as an instructor myself, I love teaching. I love making sure they don't have pitfalls, pit holes, stuff like that. You know, nobody messes up or messes up less. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we all human. We all going to do, and, you know, we had lazy days and the whole nine. I keep it 100, you know. The one thing about doing this podcast, I try to show everybody my more sensible side and my more mature side. Because, you know, back in the day, you know, I was an asshole, bro. I was straight asshole. I was like this, your mother, I ain't care for you, you can kick rocks, no socks. And I didn't calm down. I matured a little bit, you know, over the years, stuff like that. So I look at the cases. I always looked at them serious, but I think I take a more professional look on whatever I do. You've always been professional. You know, you dress to the nines and stuff like that. And you even helped me out with my pocket square. I remember before I went on stage. And you remember that? You like, yo, nah, dog, no. Holla, dog, I got you. I was like, all right, dog. And we had a good time. That was in Florida with FACA, you know. But what was your favorite movie or book?
My favorite movie is When We Were Soldiers.
Okay, Mel Gibson.
Mel
okay.
Gibson, and it's because the movie shows leadership.
Yes, it does.
And that's what makes it my favorite. When he's the first on the battlefield and the last on the battlefield. I feel as supervisors, or we shouldn't be supervisors, we should be leaders of men.
Okay.
And women.
Right.
And I take it to heart. I don't believe in asking anyone who works for me to do anything I wouldn't do myself.
True that.
When it's time to go through the door, I wouldn't be one of the first people through that door.
True
I'm not hiding in a car. I'm going through the door with you.
Right.
All right? If we got to wrestle with somebody, I'm wrestling with you. I'm not standing giving orders. I'm doing. And I feel that that's been lost in this new generation, I believe. There's way too many supervisors and not enough leaders.
You know, I commend you on that, because I had to learn how to become a leader, because I was a field guy for so long. And my major said, I need you to be supervisor. I was like, no, I'm good. She's like, you know, at first I was like, no, I'm good. You know, I got my little position, I got my little title, you know, I got my little staff, I run stuff. Mm-hmm. And she's like, that's an order. I was like, you can't order me to take, you know, a promotion. She's like, yeah, I can. I was like, okay. And then one of the best things that's ever happened, you know? Yeah. And then I had to actually learn how to be a leader, which was actually difficult for me, because I was so used to being by myself or taking charge all the time. I had to learn how to delegate.
And teach.
Yeah.
A lot of people lose that part of leadership. It's about teaching. Sometimes, like, you went from a worker to a supervisor, so you find yourself doing.
Right.
But as a leader, you got to learn to step back and say, all right, let me see you do it. All right, that's wrong. Let me show you how to do it the right way. I'm not going to do it for you. I'm going to teach you how to do it the right way, and you become more of a guide to the people.
You know, like when I'm doing my stuff, because all the instructors, you know, master instructors like that, I take a little bit. Me and my boy Marcus, you know, it's like he compares it to comedy, like you writing a set. You know what I'm saying? And I would commend that. I say, okay, you know, I know how to teach adult learners, because I learned how to teach kids, then the college students and stuff like that. But I know how to teach adult learners, and I like to audio talk to them orally and be a good orator to them. And at the same time, I want them to hear it, then I want them to see it. So the PowerPoint is merely bullets and stories, rather than deaf PowerPoint. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then I come back after that. You heard it and you saw it. Now, if I can do a practical, or I can put it in a video sense of you understanding how to apply it in a practical sense. And if we can't do it, because I don't mind a tabletop, then you're like this, okay, cool. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you see it, you know what I'm saying? Seeing is believing, and when you do it, you like have more understanding, and you're like this, oh, I got it. I'm like this, good? And I always say, hey, when in doubt, reach out, holler back, you know what I'm saying? Because I'd rather you call me than do something catastrophic to the case.
And I got to commend you on your PowerPoints and your training, because to that point, it's not words on the screen. I'm gonna show you words, but I'm gonna actually show you what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna tell you the dog bit this person and this is what happened on words, because people can't come up. You take that and then you show them, and it makes it real. And that's very important when it comes to training, making it real. And I try to make sure I do that with my training too. Everything I say, I want to show you.
Right.
So the words and then the pictures, and you actually becomes real to the person.
You know, like I said, doing this job takes and I had to learn patience. I had to learn patience because not everybody learns as quick as you or the way you learn. You know what I'm saying? So I had to like, woosah. You know what I'm saying? And I don't take myself as serious like I used to. And I had to make fun of myself because, you know, and when you're like with your crew, you can actually be intimate with your crew, and they have more respect because they see you down to earth and you're willing to go through the door, like you said. Yes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Instead of like this, I see y'all, you know, y'all handle your business. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna handle it anyway.
Right.
You know, but you know, let me get to another question. I got one for you. What was your most interesting case? And that's gonna go over a background and all that stuff.
Isn't that what was animal cruelty?
Yeah.
Or
no, animal cruelty. Matter of fact, man, give me something else.
Homicides, like, I mean, listen.
I know, because you've seen it all.
Animal cruelty. The most interesting case probably was the dog fighting takedown. That was Dennis's case, where we took the 24 dogs in 3 locations, guns, drugs. Because that fighter was one of the top dog fighters between here and DR. The DA couldn't get him. They were trying to get him on the drugs. Mm-hmm. We got him on the dogs and then tied the drugs in, and actually he was arrested for trafficking along with dog fighting.
Nice.
And that was one of the best cases. I can tell you about the one case that still haunts me today is the one homicide that I truly don't know who did it. Really? Rosemary Jefferson. That homicide bothers me to this day.
Really? And
I laugh at it because you see the shirts we're wearing, "Don't fuck up the crime scene."
Yeah.
That's what they did.
What?
Yes. Let me not say that. I feel it was. I don't feel the crime scene was handled the way I would have preferred it handled, and I think that might have hurt us moving forward.
Was it just contingencies? It was property, or what was it?
It was just the way it was handled when they first got there. Gotcha. Things were done that probably shouldn't have been done. Gotcha. And the case is still open. We still have some stuff that we're working on. And even though I'm not even in charge of that case no more, a copy of that case stays in my desk. Because in my entire career, I've worked many homicides, many shootings. Even if we can't even if we can't arrest the person, we usually know who did it.
Right.
All right? Because there's a difference of knowing who did it and proving they did it.
True that. True that.
This is the only case in my career of a homicide that I truly do not know or have a suspect who did it. And it haunts me to this day.
You know, I don't have one like that. I just have one case that gets my goat where the judge got on my last nerve because I had a guy who was a habitual violator of neglect. Borderline cruelty for neglect. You know, and I was like, you know, I hadn't got, you know, dead to right 5 times. Roxy the Rottweiler. And I had this guy dead to right, bro, dead to right. And the judge like having like 5-6 bites at the apple. And I was like, you know, I'm looking at, because we're going there for a sentencing. He was already found guilty. So we're going for sentencing. I'm like, you know, like this is a walk in the park. So first of all, why am I even here? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, well, you know, because he had a new defense attorney. And I knew of him. And Michael's good. He's actually good. But I was like, this ain't the time or place for it. It's already over. You know what I mean? So I said, but she gave him like another chance like this. Well, you know, I really think you understand now. I'm like, but you just say he was guilty I'm lost. And, you know, again, you know, judges do what the hell they want half the time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and that one bothers me because, you know, video don't lie for the most part. It doesn't lie. You can try to manipulate it or get it in or have it inadmissible or whatever like that. You know, what's it called? A motion to dismiss or something like that, you know, like that. But this is one of those like this. It is what it is, you know? All right. Favorite food to cook or eat?
Favorite food to cook is definitely steak.
Okay. What's your piece of steak?
Bone-in ribeye.
Really?
Oh yeah, love to death. I make it with my son. Me and my youngest son, we love making steaks together. So yeah, it's.
Do you put it in a brine, or do you just cook it? You let it season it first, or you just
season? Let it sit out in the air for an hour.
Okay.
At least an hour.
Okay.
Uncovered in the air with the seasoning for an hour on a skillet.
What's your? Oh, really? So really?
On a skillet or broil. I'll broil sometimes.
Really?
I do prefer the cast iron skillet.
Yeah.
I think nothing cooks better than the cast iron skillet.
No. And do you treat your cast iron well? Do you oil it and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. Wash it, scrub it.
I'm just saying.
Take the oil when you're done, dry it off, take the oil it, and then put it away.
Yeah,
of course, you got it.
I'm just asking, bro.
You got to treat it right.
It's rules to this. It's rules to this,
oh,
you know what I mean? So I like a New York strip thin. So if I have a thick one, stuff like that, I cut it, stuff like that. I don't like them too thick because, so what do you like, medium rare? What do you like those?
Medium, an inch. And I like inch cut.
Okay. Inch is not bad. Sometimes, like I go to Costco.
You got an inch and a half?
Inch and a half. So I have to cut it down a little bit like that. And then because I get them by the pack. So that 4 turn into 8. And then I season stuff like that. And I throw them in the freezer. And I pull them out and everything like that, and I let them rest, let them get to room temperature, and I can do the skillet on the grill. Right? If I'm in the house, because you can get a little smoky sometimes, depends on what it is. And 6 minutes one side, 6 minutes outside, let it rest. After that, cut into it. One thing I would say, I'm not a big steak sauce guy, but they got one. It's kind of asada steak from Giants. All right, I'm gonna send you a bottle because I gotta send you T-shirts, you and Janet. They got a steak sauce. It's so good. Slap your mama good. I know how much you like your mom.
And listen, I don't do steak sauce because if I season it right, I feel like steak sauce is for a steak that's not seasoned right.
Again, I got something for you. I send it to you. You be like this. Yeah.
Okay.
No. It's a little kick. We talk.
Okay.
All right. I got one for you. Have you ever fucked up a crime scene?
Have I ever fucked up a crime scene?
Yeah, that's the name of it, baby.
I don't think so. And I've been to plenty of crime scenes. I'm very careful not to contaminate a crime scene.
Okay. Messed up the inventory, chain of custody.
No, and you know it's interesting, and the reason I don't, because when I came to the detective bureau, that's when we really started doing. I really got into supervising crime scenes. Even when I was a patrol officer, we had your crime scenes. I worked in a busy command. We had shootings all the time, stabbings. You learn quick. Set the tape, set the crime scene up, don't go in. And I always say it depends on where you learn. If you're in a slower precinct, like in the city, some places that are slower, who are not used to crime scenes, they get curious. Oh, I want to see.
Negative.
When you're seeing it all the time, you're seeing people shot. It's interesting how you learn things. You're like, oh, close range. From experience, you start picking things up. So I don't really see myself. I don't remember ever messing up a crime scene.
That's good.
And when I went to detective, when I started doing the investigations, I took it even more serious, these crime scenes.
I think a lot of people don't understand, and they are scared of the brass when they come in, because sometimes the brass will come down or swing by. When I say brass, once in a while LT, but a captain come in, a major come in, stuff like that, and they walk around and they want to say what's going on. Sometimes they will dwindle into a crime scene.
I've kicked the chief out of a crime scene.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I also, I dealt with a lot of police-involved shootings. I was on a task, my chief's task force of police-involved shootings before force investigation was started. When I went to force investigation, that's all we did. It was our case. And we considered those most serious case, police-involved shooting, a police homicide, officer gets shot, officer gets killed. Mm-hmm. That crime scene, I don't care who you are, you are not screwing up this crime scene because we are going to catch a person who hurt one of the officers. I don't care what rank you are. Sorry, you're not coming in here.
Like I said, because you know how I am with mine. I'm like, hey, is there a reason why you're coming into my crime scene? And if in, sign in. They don't want to sign in.
But you know what's funny? A lot of them realize it. I remember when that was the 7-8. That was when Suarez got shot. That was the guy in the car. Pulled up next to him, shot into the unmarked car, shot him. And I remember that crime scene. It was a midnight there, crime scene set up. The 1-star chief walks in. He walks in. I'm like, boss, what are you doing? I said, I need everybody out the crime scene. At first, he looked at me like he was going to say something, but then something clicked. Like, oh, wait, this is a police-involved shooting. He then turned around and ordered everyone out the crime scene for me.
Right.
And I was like, whew. I was like, but he caught himself. When I said it to him, like, well, I need everybody out this crime scene. And I'm looking at him. Listen, I was a sergeant then. You outranked me by 3 times over.
Right.
But something clicked. He's like, okay, this is serious. Like, I really shouldn't be in here either. And then he turned around and kicked everybody out. Help me get everybody out the crime scene.
And again, I always say let your ego go at the door when you clock in. If it's a team sport, it's a team sport. You know what I'm saying? And people got to know their positions. Mm-hmm. And coach got to know how to coach. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Point guard, how to run the team. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people's egos get inside the way sometimes. And people, take it for granted. I don't take it for granted. And I try to be a good listener. Because I think we all can be a nice officer, but you got to be a good listener.
You just hit something on the head that I was just discussing, trying to implement maybe some new training. I also do hostage negotiation.
Right.
I'm a hostage negotiator.
Right.
So one thing we do is active listening.
Okay.
And what I realize, it shouldn't just be for negotiation. It should be for everyone. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of the issues enforcement personnel have with the public sometimes is you're so focused on enforcing, you don't listen. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you just need to let someone get it off their chest. And once it's off their chest, they become a different person.
But like my verbal judo, I give you 90 seconds to blow up steam. You know what I'm saying? I let you get it out, burn the sugar off, and we talk. And I'm like, good. I'm good with you. You know what I'm saying? I want to establish rapport and get everything I can get out of this interview with somebody. And that's if it's a suspect, if it's a victim, if it's a witness, it doesn't make a difference. I want to get everything. And I want to establish a rapport so you feel good, especially with the possible suspect. I'm like this, all right, man, show a little empathy sometimes. No much sympathy, a little empathy. And because I can relate to you, I got you like that and everything. All right, give me a second. You need anything? Holla, right?
But I actually watch... And when I listening is very important. And I watch body cams. I've seen, it was a video I was watching. It was an animal cruelty case. Someone saw the dog. The dog was extremely skinny. Maybe 2 BCS. Okay. 2. Cops go to the door, see the dog. Oh, this dog is skinny. We gotta take this dog. I watched his body cam. Now I'm listening to what the person is saying. Mm-hmm. Those cops never heard what he said. The man said, they were so interested in taking the dog and lock him up. They didn't hear when he said, my dog has a doctor, he has cancer. I'm taking him tomorrow to get put to sleep. I just want to spend the last night with him. They didn't hear that. They locked him up. Oh no, he got locked up. They took the dog to the shelter. The dog was put to sleep right away because it had cancer. So the one night he wanted to spend with his dog, he never got to. He spent the night in jail. Yeah, and
that's deep.
And I'm watching this. I'm like, and the guy's saying, I have the vet paperwork right here. Look, he has a doctor. He has a vet. There's the paperwork right there. That's the medication he's been on. I know he has cancer. I'm taking him to get put down tomorrow because I know he's suffering. And it bothered me so much. I was like, they didn't listen to anything that man was saying. They were so focused on enforcing and feeling they're doing the right thing, that they're saving this dog. They did not listen to what he was saying. And that bothered me. And that's one of the things I want to push for, more training of active listening in the academy. Right. I want these cops to start listening to people. We have a job to do. We have laws to enforce. sometimes you need to listen to make sure you're doing your job correctly.
You know, like, and I like that because, like, today in class, we heard a lot of records going around, but sometimes there was people were saying some key stuff.
They were,
you know, and that's what I was trying to hit on, or somebody was hit on. I was like, hold up, and did you hear this? Did you hear that? Even on the videos, like, did you hear this like that? Because active listening skills are not what they used to be. Because sometimes you're listening, but you're not listening because you're focused on what you're going to say already.
Yes.
You know, and you miss key points where you're like, oh, damn. Or they can incriminate themselves and you're not listening.
You miss it. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's good to have a body cam, but if you even look at it and hear it then, because, you know, if you get to that, you know, favorite place to visit or vacation? You can't say home.
Which home? Barbados?
Yeah.
That's my home. That's just,
I
can't say Barbados.
You can't say that. That's why I said can't say home.
Okay, then actually number 2, I believe in Aruba. Let me tell you, if you just want to relax. Like, okay. I found Aruba is a place where there's not much to do. Beach is beautiful. I love a beach. You can go up in the hills. You can do the you know, on the ATVs, but it's a place to go
and chill
and just relax, refocus.
You know, like I'm taking vacations now to get my money right, have my mind ready for my money, get my business and stuff like that. And I mean really woosah and kind of focus on a few things because I think, and I'm sorry, I think everybody needs a financial advisor if you don't know how to do your money. Okay, I think a lot of us should get ahead of stuff, and then you need to retire when you retire and enjoy life because you just don't know how much you got. You know what I'm saying? And I watched you know, a lot of your guys go, you know, and I'm happy for them. I hate to see them go. You know, we used to always be boys, but you know, a lot of people I've seen taking a shorter life. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, I'm good. And like when I go on vacations now, actually go on vacations, that's crazy, right? I used to be a workaholic. And now I have to go on vacations and I go out there, I'm like this, okay, cool. And I like to go out the country. I like to go out the country and don't get me wrong, I still like to see the United States, but in different parts of the United States. Like I said, I'm going to, me and you just went to Windsor, which is crazy, Canada, right? We go over there just losing our mind. Yo, we in Canada, son. You know what I'm saying? That was a good time last night. But, you know, I'm talking about going to Vancouver, another part of Canada. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I'm going to Quito. I'm going to Ecuador. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, people like this, what are you going to Ecuador for? Okay, it ain't America.
Exactly.
How you say I can? And hey, well, and why black people don't like to travel, man?
Oh, my goal is to travel the world. I've been to Europe. I've been to multiple islands. I was in Mexico 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, I believe in traveling.
Right.
Like, I love to travel. COVID screwed up my European vacation. My second European. We were supposed to go hit a couple more in Spain, Italy.
You go to Portugal yet?
No, I've only been to England and France.
Okay.
We were supposed to go right before COVID, Rome, Spain, France again, but COVID messed it up. So we have to reschedule that right now. The airline prices are ridiculous.
Oh yeah, well see, that's why like, and then another thing, reason why I want to retire overseas. Once you're overseas, jumping off to another place is way easier and way cheaper. You know what I'm saying? And like once you get like to Malaysia and everything, it ain't nothing to go to the Philippines and go to, but because you're already halfway there. You know what I'm saying? And then like for me, going to Nicaragua, or we going to what's that one? Costa Rica and Panama. You know what I'm saying? You know, if there's a few places you can go, left or right. You know?
Oh yeah.
And then you have a great time and everything. You know, brush up on your Spanish, you know, a little bit, you know, just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So you won't get got. All right, let me get another one. Are you a great teammate?
I think so. I believe I am. My big thing is the team. I try to remove the word I from my vernacular when I talk about work because I don't do anything. we do it all. Like, like I am nothing without my team. Like I'm not the one going out there knocking on doors, doing interviews every day. I mean, once in a while I may go with them, but they're doing it every day. So I believe in the team. I make sure my guys know you can call me. You need me, I'm there. If you're sitting here by yourself, you need to go out, I'm with you. We're out there. We're as a team. So I'm of the we mentality. The we, us, that's my team. So I think I'm a pretty good teammate. I mean, you can ask the guys. I
know that they love you, man. They love you.
And they'll let you know.
They talk. Because the thing is, we boys. You know what I'm saying? We boys with a few everybody, and everybody's like this. Like it was like no drop off when Mike left. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just said okay. They felt you out a little bit, but it was always like, all right, cool. And then you had some people coming in because you got a lot of people replaced now. With everybody leaving, so that's a little work too. And I met your Sergeant Tim, so he seems pretty cool.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to rebuild a team. It's difficult picking people up right now, and one thing I will not pick up an animal fanatic. I will not pick up anyone who deals with rescues. My goal is to always pick up an investigator first and an animal lover second.
Makes sense. Because
we're not rescuing animals. We're solving crimes against animals.
Right.
So I need someone who understands that.
And you heard a little bit of the banter today when we started talking about stuff, because it got a little good. Because and on the simplest thing, you're like, hold up. Double looping the dog and everything. They went hand, and one person got fired.
Yeah.
I'm like, this don't make sense.
That's when animal advocacy overtakes common sense.
Yeah.
And safety of the person having to deal with it and deal with the animals. And that's a scary thought.
Are you a dog person or cat person?
Dog person.
Straight up? No way for a cat?
No. I love my dogs. I have a little something now. A Billy dog. My dog, my boy that I had for 14 years was a black lab chow mix. King, 14 years. That dog, the dog was older than my kids at one point. I had him longer than my kids. So I love that dog to death. I mean, before that, I had Sheba. She was a pit bull. Great. Pink nose. Oh, she was absolutely amazing. I had Vega. He was a German Shepherd mix.
You had some dogs.
Oh yeah, I had some dogs. I had some dogs. I'm definitely a dog person. This is the smallest right now. Onyx is the smallest dog I've ever had, and I realize I like big dogs. We have small dogs. I'm sorry for anybody who likes these little small dogs, but I actually realize I prefer bigger dogs.
I used to have big dogs, and I went small, then I went none. And because dogs, you got to have patience, give them time to grow and to tear shit up, and then they're gonna be with you for a while, but it's a lot. Oh, it's raining, bro.
Oh wow,
it's storming out there.
Yeah. Dogs are like having another kid, man.
Big time. All right, guys, I appreciate our guest, Adrian Ashby of NYPD, Detective Squad with Animal Cruelty. He is like the man up there. He runs everything. I appreciate him being on. We did a quick one. Let me get a sponsor in real quick. This is brought to you by Done Right Designs. You can call Done Right Design at Derek at donerightdesign.com. He'll build your website on the low, and he'll do a great job. And one more sponsor, Tomahawk Traps. Please go do a shout out to Kyle if you want a live trap, and you can get an extra 10% anytime if you put my code in, my vendor code, my submitter code. It is DC, my last name Hurst, Hearst. That's DC Hurst, Hearst, and you will get 10% off. All right, guys, that'll wrap it up for episode number 18, and I'll holler back at you again. Peace out, and always don't fuck up the crime scene. You can hit me at kdhurst.com, don't fuck up the crime scene.com, and I'll hit y'all back, all right? Holler back. And that's a wrap. Greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. It was a pleasure. I always have fun talking my stories and all that good stuff. So again, tune in to dfutcs.com. Don't F up the crime scene. Holla back at you guys later.